There are some dreams that do not feel like dreams. They feel like messages wrapped in mist, like memories from a place you have never been but somehow remember. You wake up and feel it in your chest, not fear, not confusion, but a weight, a presence, as if heaven breathed into your sleep and left behind a question you have not yet answered. For years you may have carried this quietly. You sensed that your nights held more than rest, that behind the symbols, the voices, the visions, something sacred was trying to reach you. You tried to dismiss it, you tried to explain it away, but the feeling never left. It followed you. It grew with you. It whispered beneath the noise of life. Because you were not made like the others, you were marked, set apart, and though the world did not see it, your dreams have always known it. They have shown you glimpses, not of what you want, but of who you are becoming. They have warned you, pulled you, protected you, and called you. Not every dream is from God, but there are some that carry the weight of eternity. There are some that only come to those who have been chosen, not for comfort, but for purpose. And now you are here, not by accident, not by curiosity, but by divine arrangement. Something in your spirit is being stirred, and the dreams you thought were random may soon be revealed as revelation. There are 7 kinds of dreams that God gives to His chosen ones. If even one of them has touched your sleep, you may be standing on holy ground without knowing it. Stay close. We are about to enter sacred territory, and once you see, you will never dream the same again. The warning: dream God protecting you before you even know why. There are dreams that do not shout, they whisper. A road you should not take, a person whose smile conceals a wound, a danger just beyond the visible. And though you wake confused, your spirit remembers. God has always warned those He calls. He does not wait for disaster to strike. He sends His messages in advance, wrapped in the veil of sleep. When Joseph was warned in the night to flee with Mary and the child, it was not because something had happened. It was because something would. And because Joseph obeyed the dream, the child was spared, and the prophecy was preserved. If you have ever dreamed of loss and then changed your path, if you have ever sensed danger before it came, if you have ever woken with a dread you could not explain only to find you had just missed something that could have broken you, that is not fear. That is being sealed. Chosen ones are not always told why, but they are always told when. Because what God calls, He protects. Even when you do not see the danger, He surrounds you with foresight. Sometimes with silence, sometimes with dreams. And sometimes the dream is the only thing standing between who you are now and who you are becoming. The dream of being watched or called by name. Heaven is aware of you. There are dreams where you are not alone. No faces, no voices, but a presence. Watching, calling, waiting, not with judgment, but with attention. You do not see it with your eyes, but you feel it with your spirit. A holy gaze. A knowing whisper. This is not imagination. This is the beginning of being known. When Samuel was a child, the voice came in the night. Gentle, repeating, personal. It called his name, not to frighten him, but to awaken what was already written. Chosen ones are rarely called in crowds. They are summoned in solitude, in the dark, in the quiet, and most often in the language of sleep. To be called in a dream is not a symbol. It is a seal, a confirmation that heaven knows your name even when the world forgets it. And when you feel that gaze in your dream, when the present stays longer than the scene, it is because you are not being tested. You are being seen, because long before the world recognizes your calling, heaven watches for your response. The visionary dream, seeing things before they happen. There are dreams that do not belong to the present. They come from ahead of you. They bring images that feel misplaced in time, events that have not yet unfolded, people you have not met, places you do not recognize yet somehow know. To carry such dreams is not easy. They are heavy with meaning and often misunderstood. But to those God has chosen, foresight is a mantle, not a mystery. Daniel saw kingdoms rise and fall before they ever appeared on earth. Joseph saw the famine before it devoured the land. Their dreams were not guesses, they were glimpses. When you see things before they happen, it is not a sign of your fear. It is a sign of your assignment. God gives His chosen ones access to tomorrow not for control, but for stewardship, so that when the moment comes you will not be blind, you will be ready. And even when others doubt you, your spirit will know. Because the dream was not born of anxiety, it was born of intimacy. To see the future in a dream is not to escape the present. It is to be prepared for what only you were meant to carry. The angelic or messenger dream. When God sends help to the hidden ones. There are dreams where someone enters the room and everything changes. Not in words, but in atmosphere. Light moves differently. Silence feels alive. You do not need to be told it is an angel. Your spirit already knows. Throughout Scripture, God has sent angels in dreams to those He has marked to protect, to guide, to warn, to confirm. Jacob saw a ladder to heaven. Cornelius received instruction that shifted the course of history. Joseph, the guardian of Jesus, was guided solely by dreams. Why? Because when your calling is hidden, God sends visible help in invisible form. And for the chosen, this help often comes at night, when no one else is watching, when no voice can interfere, when the messenger is not there to impress you, but to align you. If you have seen a figure in your dream that did not speak, yet left you changed, if you have been comforted in a moment you did not understand, if light has visited your sleep in a form you cannot name, do not dismiss it. You are not being haunted, you are being held. For those who walk in silence by day, God often sends angels by night. The dream of unworthiness, feeling rejected, dismissed, or left out. Some dreams do not lift you, they press you down. You are overlooked, cast aside, left behind while others move forward. You try to speak, but no one hears you. You reach, but nothing touches back. These dreams are not punishments, they are mirrors. And what they reflect is not your shame, but your refinement. Every chosen vessel walks through the furnace of unworthiness. Moses said he could not speak. Jeremiah said he was too young. David was forgotten in the field. Even Peter wept bitterly after denying the one he loved. But in each of them, God was not repelled by their weakness. He was drawn to it. Because those who feel unworthy rarely hunger for applause. They hunger for truth. And truth is where God begins. When you dream of being rejected, it may not be a warning, it may be a reminder that your value has never come from those who ignored you. It comes from the one who called you before they ever knew your name. He is not asking for your perfection, He is asking for your yes. And sometimes the ache you carry in the dream is the doorway to the authority you will carry in the spirit. The repeating dream, when the same symbol or place keeps returning. There are dreams that return like waves, the same hallway, the same voice, the same moment unfolding again and again. You may forget the details, but something in you remembers the pattern. God is a revealer, but He is also a repeater. Not because He is unsure, but because He wants you to see what you keep missing. When Pharaoh had two dreams that said the same thing, Joseph understood what it meant. The matter was fixed by God. Repetition is heaven's underlining. It is emphasis without explanation. And for the chosen, this is how many callings are confirmed. If a number keeps appearing, if a person keeps speaking, if a landscape returns in silence, you are not looping through randomness, you are being circled by revelation. God does not waste language, and when He echoes a dream, it is because the time is near. The dream is not haunting you, it is pursuing you, because the longer a dream returns, the more urgent its fulfillment becomes. The Intercessor's Dream. Praying for others you've never met. There are dreams where your voice is not your own, where you find yourself weeping, pleading, lifting names you do not know. You stand between danger and safety, between sorrow and mercy, and when you wake, the burden remains. This is the mark of an intercessor. Chosen not just to see, but to carry. In Scripture, God always entrusted His most urgent burdens to those He could wake in the night. Job was restored only after he prayed for his friends. Daniel fasted and mourned for a people who did not even know his prayers were sustaining them. Esther stood in silence until it was time to speak. And Jesus in the garden carried the weight of a world that could not stay awake. If you have dreamed of covering someone, if you have felt their pain in your sleep, if you have woken with names on your lips or tears on your face, do not dismiss it as imagination. God is not only calling you, He is trusting you, because chosen ones are not called to comfort first, but to carry. Not to be seen, but to stand in the unseen places where lives are saved and destinies are preserved through midnight prayer. You were not just chosen to walk in light. You were chosen to weep in the shadows until light returns. And now, as we come to the edge of these revelations, there is one final truth you must carry with you. Not every sign comes with comfort, but every sign confirms the same sacred whisper. You were never dreaming alone. Somewhere between sleep and waking, a truth waits for you. It does not shout, it does not demand, it waits. Because those who are truly chosen are not called by noise, but by a whisper only the soul can hear. You have felt it in your dreams, in the weight that follows you into morning, in the quiet ache that no one else seems to carry. And maybe for the first time you see now that you were not imagining it. You were being invited. There is a holy loneliness that comes with being set apart. A distance, a silence, a strange pattern of being misunderstood, unseen, or too sensitive for the world around you. But that ache is not emptiness, it is invitation. And the dreams you have carried are not confusion, they are communication. Evidence that heaven is not far, that your spirit is not broken, that your life is not random. To be chosen is not to be elevated, it is to be entrusted, with sight, with burden, with purpose, even when you do not feel ready, even when no one else understands. And now you must decide what you will do with what has been revealed, not just in this video, but in your own life. Because if the signs are there, the calling is already underway. You are not waiting for destiny to begin. You are remembering what was already written. If something inside you was stirred today, speak it aloud. Let the silence break. Share in the comments what dreams have followed you, what burdens you have carried, what signs you now begin to see, not for validation but for witness. And if you are still searching, write this instead: Lord, I am still listening. That is enough. That is obedience. If this journey spoke to your spirit, I invite you to like this video and subscribe to this space, not for numbers, but so you do not walk this path alone. Share it with someone who may be carrying dreams they never understood. You may be the confirmation they have been praying for. You were not called to fit in. You were called to wake up. And now that the dream has spoken, may your life begin to echo what heaven has already declared. The world may not see it yet, but the unseen realm already knows. You have been chosen, and now remember,